What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Midterm Rental Show. I'm your host, Kramer, and in this episode, I'm going to share notes that I have from a coaching call I just did with somebody who has midterm rentals, but their properties are struggling. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so I just wrapped up a coaching call with somebody who they have midterm rentals. They've been doing it for several years now, and their properties are not performing like they used to. So I'm not going to share her name or where her properties are located, but I will tell you the tips that I told her that are applicable literally anywhere that you're doing midterm rentals. And if you're interested in booking a one-on-one coaching call with me, whether you're brand new and just have questions about getting started, or you have properties and you want some feedback from me or even have questions, you can book a call with me down below. Okay, so the first reason why she was struggling to get midterm rental bookings on Airbnb was because she added so much friction in the listing. And I've seen this talked about over and over again in Facebook groups, and it is absolutely mind-boggling to me. Okay, so I'm going to read off the section. So I have her Airbnb listing pulled up, and I want to read off to you the friction that she's adding in the process and one of the biggest reasons why she's not getting midterm rental bookings. In the other things to note sections, it says required photo ID, a signed lease, proof of employment / a contract, $100 per month utility allowance, and that overages are going to be billed through Airbnb. Guys, I don't know about you, but I would never book an Airbnb property that requires me to show proof of employment, have a utility cap of $100 per month, because also with utilities, especially if you're going to a new city or state, you have no idea how much the utility should be. Having a signed lease when I'm going through Airbnb, no thank you. And to give them photo ID, again, no thank you through Airbnb. If I wanted those things, I would probably just go to Furnish Finder. But if I'm booking on Airbnb, I don't want any of that. So the fact that she's requiring all of her guests to provide that is creating so much friction. And she's had that in her listing for a long time now. And she was kind of an OG to the midterm rental space. And she got away with that back then because people didn't have any other options. But now that it's become more crowded, renters don't want those limits and requirements. So I told her, please immediately remove that. You do not need it. Okay, the second thing that I told her to improve her property and her bookings was to update her decor. Now, again, she's been doing this for a while and hasn't ever really updated her properties. And like I mentioned before, she got away with it. But now that it's more competitive, she has to do more to stand out. Now, there were some really basic things, like she didn't have nightstands next to all the beds. Easy thing to add and low cost. She had a dining room chair in place for the desk she had set up. And in her reviews, people were complaining that the chair was super uncomfortable to work at. So I was like, hey, get a office chair. It's like $50 to $100 on Amazon. Easy peasy. Okay, the third thing that I had her fix and improve was her minimum night stay settings. So she told me that she basically, if someone reaches out to her months and months in advance for a 30-day stay, that she would accept it. And I told her that she is crazy and she's losing money. And she even admitted to me that her property will go vacant for a long time when she does that. So I said, hey, I've got a really simple fix for you that you should implement. So here it was. If someone inquires 30 days in advance, your minimum night stay should be 30 nights. If someone inquires 60 nights in advance, your minimum night stay should be 60 nights. And if someone inquires 90 nights in advance, the minimum night requirement should be 90 nights. Now, of course, that can absolutely be adjusted. It's just a very general rule. But I've seen this as just a really good starting spot if you don't have any rules already in place. Okay, the next change that I had her make was 2 things to save her money. The first thing was all about Wi-Fi. And if you've been listening to me recently, you know I've been hot on this topic because I just saved a ton of money from doing this. So I gave her my direct contact at Spectrum, and I said, tell Ed to lower your prices, and he will do it. So she's paying like $80 per month for internet right now per property. And I told her, call my guy, he'll get it down to probably around $40 a month for you. So that alone could be literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month in savings. And the second thing that I told her as it pertains to Wi-Fi is she has a fourplex and she has individual Wi-Fi routers for each unit. And I had a very similar situation at my triplex, where I was paying for each unit to have their own Wi-Fi. And then I realized that that was a complete waste of money, and this is what I personally shifted to. I have one Wi-Fi router in my triplex, and then I bought one additional range extender to make sure that each unit has lightning fast Wi-Fi. So now I pay $45 per month for all three of my units in the triplex for Wi-Fi, instead of paying $40 per month per unit. So I'm basically saving $80 per month, which is over $800 per year. Okay, the next thing that she told me was that her books are extremely messy. So my solution for that is to use Baselane. Now, Baselane is not sponsoring this video, although I am an affiliate for them. But most importantly, I've been using them for over, I think 4 years at this point. So I highly recommend using Baselane for their bookkeeping feature, for their rent collection feature, for their bank account feature. Literally so many reasons why I recommend them. I'll leave a link to it down below as well. That way, if you sign up, which it's free by the way, you'll get a bonus and I'll get some sort of compensation from Baselane too. Okay, the next batch of things I told her was all about operational efficiency. Because initially when she started the conversation, her biggest question was how can she automate and delegate? And once I dove in, I realized she wasn't ready to do that yet. She had to first fix the things that I talked about before this, and then she'll be ready to. But here were a couple things that she can essentially get ready in the meantime, so that when she does automate and delegate, her life becomes easier. Number one was to use Schlage smart locks. Now again, it might sound obvious, but she was not using Wi-Fi enabled smart locks at her properties. So when she does go to delegate to cleaners and handymen and stuff like that, it's going to be a disaster of knowing when they're coming and going, creating codes for them, etc. And there were also 3 other websites that I gave her that she absolutely needs to sign up for. And if you're listening and you run properties, you do too. The first one is Minoan. So it's essentially a site that will save you money when ordering furniture from sites like Wayfair and tons of other sites. And it's completely free to use and sign up. It's great. I'll leave a link down below for Minoan as well. The second thing I told her to sign up for was an Amazon business account. Yes, there's an annual fee just like there is for Amazon Prime, but it will save you money, especially someone like her who has a bunch of properties. You get business pricing, and it's an absolute no-brainer. And then the third thing I told her to sign up for was Walmart Business Plus. Very similar to Amazon, where you're going to get business discounts for pretty much anything, but like soaps or really any supplies for your property. And they have free delivery, which is great because right now when a guest is messaging her that they need something, she's running out to the store, buying it, and then bringing it to the guest. Whereas if she just uses Walmart Business Plus, they'll do it for her for free. So I told her, once you have all these things that we just talked about down pat, you can then move on to delegating and automating things. So right now she is the handy woman and she is the cleaner at her properties. And hypothetically, she could delegate the cleaning now, but the midterm rentals are her main source of income. So I figured it doesn't make sense to just throw away money, especially when you have so much reliance on this income. But on that note, I also don't recommend creating such a reliance on this income. Yes, it does produce cash flow. And if you're going to spend any of the cash flow, it should be a very small portion. Because yeah, things can break. You need reserves. And if you don't consistently use the money to reinvest into your property, it could happen like it did for her, where you fall behind and now that income is not coming in anymore. So anyways, that was the biggest takeaways from my conversation with her. Again, if you guys want a one-on-one coaching call, whether you're brand new or you have properties, I'll leave a link down below and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.